எல்லோருக்கும் இனிய காலை வணக்கம். இன்றைக்கி நம்ம பாரதிய சிக்ஷா போர்டுடைய ஒரு கூட்டத்தில் வந்திருக்கிறோம். நம்மளுடைய பெருமதிப்பிற்குரிய திரு என்பி சிங்ஜி அவர்களும், நமக்கு பெருமதிப்பிற்குரிய சாத்வி தேவப்பிரியா அம்மாவும், பெருமதிப்பிற்குரிய சுவாமி பரமார்த்த தேவ்ஜி அவர்களையும் மேடைக்கு வருமாறு अनबोடு अழைக்கிறேன். प्रणाम. यहाँ जो पधारे हुए हैं सबको और परमादरणीय डॉक्टर एनपी सिंह जी भाई साहब को और परमादरणीय पूज्य साध्वी डॉक्टर देवप्रिया माता श्री को और परमादरणीय स्वामी परमार्थ देव जी को हम मंच पर आह्वान कर रहे हैं. பெருமதிப்பிற்குரிய டாக்டர் என்பி சிங்ஜி அவர்களையும், பெருமதிப்பிற்குரிய சாத்வி தேவப்பிரியா அம்மாவையும், பெருமதிப்பிற்குரிய டாக்டர் பரமார்த்த தேவ்ஜி அவர்களையும் வருக வருக என்று வரவேற்பதில் பெருமகிழ்ச்சி அடைகிறோம். பாரதிய சிக்ஷா போர்டு அப்படிங்கிறது என்ன ஏது அப்படிங்கிறத நமக்கு விளக்கமாக சொல்வதற்காக டெல்லியிலேருந்தும் ஹரித்வார்லேருந்தும் வருகை தந்துள்ளார். ஸோ நமக்கு பல விஷயங்கள் நமக்கு கேள்விக்குறியாக இருந்தது, கேட்டுட்டு இருந்தோம். நாம் மீட் பண்ணும்போது ஒவ்வொருத்தரும் அதை பற்றியான விளக்கங்கள் முதலே அவங்க சொல்லிடுவாங்க நமக்கு. ஸோ அதுக்காக நாம் அவர் என்ன சொல்ல போகிறார்கள் அப்படிங்கிறத பார்க்கலாம். அதுக்கு முன்பு அவர்களுக்கு மரியாதை செலுத்துமாறு அன்போடு கேட்டுக்கொள்கிறேன். பாலா பையா, பாரஸ் பையா செலுத்துமாறு திரு பாரஸ்மல்ஜி அவர்களையும் பாலா பையா அவர்களையும் கேட்டுக்கொள்கிறேன். ஜெய் जय. भारत माता की जय. भारत माता की जय. திரு டாக்டர் என்பி சிங் அவர்கள், ஒர்க்கிங் சேர்பர்சன் ஆஃப் பாரதிய சிக்ஷா போர்டு, a national board to operate pan India like a CBSE setup by Patanjali Trust as a sponsoring body with the approval of Ministry of Education, Government of India. Got a honorary PhD, specialization social work awarded by American University USA for Sustainable Development, Scientific Research and Global Peace in January 2022. IAS batch of 2005, PCS Uttar Pradesh batch of 1986. MSc Physics, Allahabad University 1983, BSc Allahabad University. Served as Municipal Commissioner, Lucknow, and gained expertise in issues of urban governance related to health, hygiene, and sanitation, amongst others. Deputy CEO, Noida Authority for a period of 3 years and developed a proficiency in issues related industrial development. Served in the capacity of Commissioner Rural Development, UP, Special Secretary Rural Development, UP, CEO, MD, State Rural Livelihood Mission. Successfully conducted various Lok Sabha and Vidhan Sabha elections and received awards and accolades on several occasions from the Election Commission of India. Successfully organized 7 Mahotsavs. Most recently, the Azamgarh Mahotsav was conducted in a unique, decentralized manner with focus on folk, literary, cultural, and local art forms. Awarded by the Indo-Thai Chamber of Commerce and felicitated with the title of International Achiever by Deputy Prime Minister of Thailand and National Achiever by High Commissioner of Peru for Administrative Impartiality and Social Service. Regularly engaged as faculty at Academy of Administration, Uttar Pradesh. Motivation speaker for orientation of youth at various schools, colleges, and institutions across UP on issues of importance such as social, psychological, spiritual, cultural, and intellectual development. So I welcome Dr. MP Singhji to address the audience.
First of all, I bow down to this historical, sacred land of Tamilnadu, which has been since thousand years center of civilization and culture. This august land has been exceptionally prolific for the contributions in literature, art, valor, philosophy, spirituality, and craftsmanship. I also extend my deepest regards to the famous saint philosopher, poet of the Sangam literature, who has guided thousands and thousands, at least 2000 years, the culture, civilization, tradition, practices across the country, and even in Sri Lanka, the great saint Tiruvalluvar. I also pay respect to all eminent persons and the noble souls present here. Kaland Kond Anat Mukkiya Star Galukku Anban Vanakkam. Bharatiya Shiksha Board is a national school education board which has been set up by the government of India with a specific objective of blending ancient knowledge system with a modern educational setup. This is the basic objective behind the formation of the board. So, on behalf of Bharatiya Shiksha Board, I would also like to welcome all of you in this seminar. And I am just a beginner learner in Tamil language because I have to spread Bharatiya Shiksha Board across the country. And Tamil is a very rich language and has rich literature. Then I started a little trying to get pathway towards the knowledge of Tamil. Maybe there may be errors in my pronunciation, but I am trying to do. Indi Kalvi Variyam Ongalai Vararev Kirat. And if in one line I would explain why this board has been set up. The primary objective is, as I said, Indian knowledge system blending with modern education. The basic question is why it is needed. Why a different board has been set up by Government of India when already CBSE board is there, IES is there, more than 60 state boards are there in the country. Then why it is needed? Many questions may be ruminating over your minds. Why Indian knowledge system needed and what is Indian knowledge system? And the three words in Indian knowledge system. What do you mean by Indian? What do you mean by knowledge? And what actually we mean by system? And what do we categorize as modern education? These things must be clear because, you know, if you talk about any educational system, there are few components, few vocabulary jargons which are being used across the country and across the globe. If you go through the National Education Policy, if you go through the National Curriculum Framework, you will find the aims of education, goals of education, capacities and competencies which are required for the learner, and what is the final learning outcome which should be assessed after the completion of the learner. You will find very few words. Suppose you talk about pedagogy. Everybody will talk about experiential learning, project-based learning, sports integration, arts integration, values integration, rootedness our culture and heritage, activity-based learning, story-based learning. These things will be repeated in every board's pedagogical approach. Even in foreign countries also. I have tried to study the model of Finland, the model of Japan, the model of Germany, the model of Israel, the model of USA, the British model, the French model. Everywhere you will find the same jargons, same words used. Sometimes there is a question in the minds of us. Lots of burden is already on the shoulders of students related with the modern education, science and technology, and the 21st century. Lots of pressure of the changing digital literacy, artificial intelligence, coding. These competencies are very important. No board can deny to equip the learner with these kind of competencies, because these are required as the minimum basic competencies in the changing world. Because the whole globe has become one village. Everything is connected economically, culturally, politically, digitally, and now we have become like a data. So nobody can deny the competencies. Our board also can't deny it. We will definitely equip the student more and more rooted in the scientific temper, critical thinking, creativity, innovativeness, research orientation, discovery mode, and we will also ensure the student must be equipped with adaptation with changes. Because in the new world, you will find every 5-10 years the new technology. And as we are proceeding gradually in the 21st century onwards, the velocity and speed of the technological changes are becoming more rapid. In that way, the learner must be equipped with the adaptation capability with the changes. परिवर्तन के साथ समायोजन की प्रवृत्ति होनी चाहिए. यदि वो परिवर्तन की क्षमता नहीं रखता है तो वह नहीं कर पाएगा. तो ये these competencies are necessary. We cannot avoid. And why Param Pujya Swami ji, I am talking about Revered Swami Ramdev ji, why he focused on Indian knowledge system blended modern education? Because he is the person with many other public intellectuals. So many organizations are working in India, so many trusts are working, like Vidya Bharati, Maharishi Aurobindo Society, Ramakrishna Mission Society, and many different. If you name, it will take much time to take everybody's name. But they are working already, and not in post-independence. Even pre-independence, if you'll find, Maharishi Dayananda, Savitribai Phule, Rabindranath Tagore, Tiruvalluvar, if you go in the Tirukural, you'll find in three parts. The first part is the code of conduct, Aram, Dharma. And second part is, Porul, and third part is the Inbam, Kamam. That is the blending of Dharma, Artha, Kam. These, if you go through the Upanishad, Taittiriya Upanishad, Sikshavalli, Brahmanandavalli, Bhriguvalli, then you will find the basic educology which is being claimed by the foreign education philosophers as their own, but that is basically the echo of our Bharatiya civilizational, educational importance and emphasis given in our text. That is the echo. And I can prove it, but it will take long time. Each verses with a vis-a-vis. If you go to the Jack Taylor's, it is very famous sentence of widely used in the domain of educational arena. Learn to know, learn to do, learn to live, learn for being. This all four philosophies already are the major components of the Upanishad philosophy regarding Siksha, education. But we are totally deprived of this kind of knowledge system in our educational curriculum design. And why it happened? Up to the 16th, 17th century, the cultural preservation, development, transmission was in continuity. It was never lost. Even in the arena of Islamic invasions, you will find these cultural traits, pursuits, thoughts, practices, traditions, and behavior of the society were completely attuned with the Bharatiya culture. I am not talking about the one sect of one branch of Bharatiya civilization and culture, because we believe as a board, as a person also, that whenever we talk about Bharat, we have to be clear in our mind that is the synthesis of all philosophies across the timeline of cultural journey of Bharat. We should not stick only one text, and this is the beauty of Bharatiya Sanskriti, Bharatiya culture. We never follow one holy book, one holy person, one messenger, Anu Bhadra Krato Yantu Vishwata. Let the noble thoughts come from all directions. We always welcome every kind of thoughts. So we believe in the strength of diversity. We never believe in uniformity. As a culture, we believed in unity underlying within the diversity, not uniformity. This is the beauty of the Bharatiya culture. Because Bharat has diverse culture, thought processes, practices, but the underlying commonness and similarities and core essence is always there. So now Bharatiya Shiksha Board, if we talk about Bharatiya culture, Bharatiya Sanskriti, we mean the synthesis of all philosophies and core essence of all philosophies, underlying unity of the core essence. If you go about that, then you will find our vocabulary jargons used in the foreign ecology or the modern ecology. You will find derived from our Bharatiya culture. As an educationist, I was just discussing with Tatia Bhai Sahab. Whenever we talk about how to shape the learner, in every seasoned mind, the thoughts will crop up. How we would like to see the final outcome of the learner. At individual level, we wish there must be education system which can foster to build the character. Values-driven personality. Now we have to define what is the value. And there is difference comes from the Bharatiya Sanskriti and the Western culture. Everybody will talk about the values. If you go in the foreign, even European countries, US, communist countries, Islamic dominated countries, secular countries, religion-based monarch, you will find that everybody will be talking about values. But defining values are the most challenging for any educator. Which kind of values you need? And the values which can be sufficient enough to enable students, learners, to compete in the 21st century, who can take the lessons from the past, comprehend the present, identify the future challenges, and resolve the conflicts culturally, economically, democratically, and at the society level. He should be able to develop a society with economic growth, but social justice, equality can't be compromised. If you go through the global challenges, there are three, just a minute I would like to mention, there are three philosophies are governing in the Western modern philosophies. One is the liberal humanism, and the product of the liberal humanism, जिसको कहते हैं उदार मानवतावाद. The liberal humanism product is crunchy capitalism. The market, it started from the concept of liberty, but finally resulted into market-oriented society, accumulation of wealth, and a democracy without equality. The whole 60% the world countries are struggling with this problem. You find 5% people are having ownership of 95% of the resources of the globe. This is the byproduct of the liberal humanism. And second one is the socialistic humanism, Samajwadi Manavtavad. The byproduct is communism, based on the concept of equality, but you will find in all communist countries, lots of discrimination and authoritarianism is there. No democracy, no equal liberty. Authoritarianism, dictatorship. You look at the Russia, look at the China, they claim the best democracy on the basis of equality, flavored by the philosophy of communism, but they are actually practicing authoritarianism. Third one is the evolutionary humanism. which was derived from the Darwin theory, जिसको कहते हैं विकासवादी मानवतावाद, कि सर्वाइवल ऑफ द फिटेस्ट, जो सबसे मजबूत होगा वही सर्वाइव करेगा, वही अस्तित्व में होगा. दिस वॉज द फिलॉसफी ऑफ द डार्विन. एंड द फिलॉसफी बेस्ड ऑन डार्विन थ्योरी, you can see the byproduct is Hitler. And the whole world has been divided into different races. Racial discrimination. And these three philosophies have failed miserably to solve the challenges ahead. I am just discussing in brief about these philosophies for a particular purpose, कि why भारतीय मूल्य, values are needed for the globe, not for the country only. If you wish to save the planet, then every youth of the globe must be developed, nurtured with Bharatiya values, Bharatiya Sanskrit. Why? In the Western philosophy, when they talk about the equality and liberty, they are only limited to the human beings. The total Western philosophy approach is human-centric. Here we are lucky to find Param Pujya Sadhvi Dr. Deopriya ji, who has been the true manifestation of Bharati values and Sanskriti, because I have studied in detail about her personality and observed her activities also, personally. She knows better about philosophy. I am not a student of philosophy, I am a student of physics, nuclear physics. But whichever, just to study the challenges ahead in Bharat, I tried to study the Vedic philosophy, Upanishad philosophy, Buddhism, Jainism, Tirkural, Shaivism, Vaishnavism, Alvar, Nayanar, Lingayat. I just tried in the Western philosophies from Thales to Marx. And Quran also, Bible also. Where is the solution for the 21st century's challenges? The Western philosophies have failed. Islam has failed. You are looking at the byproduct of the Islamic philosophy. I am not against any religion. The Islam philosophy, the Arabic meaning of Islam is peace. Islam का अर्थ होता है शांति.